Well, good morning, Warrior fans. An odd day to be sure, but Wayne State and Ferris State are resuming their game that was suspended last night due to lightning. Welcome in, everyone, to WDTK The Patriot and those watching on Flow Sports. I'm Brady Beaton. Sean Belize, Tony Ortiz on assignment elsewhere today, so I'll be riding solo with you. It's 10-0 Ferris State over Wayne State. Wayne State has it 3rd and 6 at their own 21-yard line. Spread look 5 wide. Snap to Edwards, throws over the middle, has McCatherine at the 35, and he's stopped at the 37-yard line. So Russell DeMasi had about 14 hours to draw up that 3rd down play, and he gets a 1st down. 1st and 10, Wayne State. And this is, again, folks, going to be an interesting day. First time since November of 1925 that Wayne State has played football on a Sunday. 1st and 10, Wayne State at their own 37-yard line. Out of the pistol, Edwards, DeMarco Singleton offset to his left. Miles McCatherine in motion left to right. Snap, give, Singleton, no, keeper near side. Edwards pitches, McCatherine has room, 40, 45, down near midfield. He was upended, but Wayne State coming with a little bit of juice here to start this Sunday morning game. Last night, I think they were nervous. Walking through the locker room, it was a little quiet. They were ready for the task, but they knew they had a big, hungry Bulldog team on the other side today. I think they thought, they figured out, hey, we can play with these guys, and they have so far. Down 10-0 midway through the second quarter. 1st and 10, Wayne State at their own 49-yard line. Edwards out of the pistol, snap, hand, Singleton right side. Over midfield, he plows ahead to the 45-yard line. Give the young man from Marysville 6 yards, and it's 2nd and 4, Wayne State. Checking into the game for your Warriors, Nick Ostis checks in at tight end. And for those watching at home on Flow via the prep, skeleton crew here, we thank everyone that was able to make it out on short notice. So we will be doing our best given the circumstances. 6:09 to go in the second quarter. 10-0 Ferris. 2nd and 4, Wayne State at the Ferris 45. Snap, Singleton up the middle. He fights to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. He does. That brings up 3rd and 4. And I have to imagine in this spot, hey, you're playing a top 5 team in the country. You're going to have to take some shots, and maybe this is 4-down territory. Edwards hurries the troops to the line. Twins either side. DeMarco Singleton offset to his left. 3rd and 4 from the Ferris 45. Claps the hands, no snap, looks to the near sideline. Couple different coaches given the signal. Edwards barks out a few orders. 10 on the play clock. Leans in. Edwards claps the hand, snap, draw, middle, gets upended. Shooting through the hole and making that stop was Victor Nelson, the senior out of Detroit Central via Saginaw Valley, and that will bring on the punt unit. That was a heck of a job from Nelson. 5'10", 300-pound frame. He was able to sneak through. Wasn't a big hole for Edwards to run through anyway, and it brings on the punt unit. From the plus 46, Wayne State with the punt unit on. Snap, rush comes from Ferris, and it was nearly blocked. My goodness. And a fair catch called for and executed by Ferris State and Brady Rose inside their own 15-yard line. But the punt of number 28, Avery Birch, was nearly blocked as Ferris State takes over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. 4:32 to go until halftime. We will have a full 20-minute halftime here at Tom Adams Field. Trinidad Chambliss out of the gun, one back to his right, trips left, one near side. Man in motion left to right, that's Rose. Hard count, no snap, they'll look to the far sideline. Back moving from right to left is Cannon Katzer. Claps the hand, Chambliss gives, Katzer off the near side, over the 15, patiently looks, he's splashing underneath his feet as he chops the feet near the 19. He's dropped out of bounds for a gain of about 6, 2nd and 4, Ferris State. Bulldogs have all 3 timeouts. They're not in a particular rush here with just over 4 minutes left to go. in the half. Same formation, twins either side. Cats are off to the left hip of Chambliss. Man in motion, right to left. Rose gives, jet sweep. Rose looking for the edge. Wait, lets his blocker set up across the 25-30. Look out to the outside. Wrangled out of bounds near the 40-yard line. That's a gain of about 20 for Ferris State as they move closer to midfield. Now the Bulldogs will work with a little bit of pace. Spotted on the left hash on the 39-yard line. Cats are off the right hip of the quarterback Chambliss out of the gun. Wayne State showing 4 linemen. They bring a linebacker up near side. They rush 5. Straight drop for Chambliss. Wants a deep man. Look out. Has a man. Overthrown. My goodness. He had Amari O'Brien about 3 steps behind the nearest Wayne State defender. And just a touch too much power underneath that one. If he puts it in the breadbasket, he walks in for 6. As it stands, 2nd and 10 on their own 39-yard line. 10-0 Ferris in this resumed game from last night. Bulldogs have it, 2nd and 10 on their own 39. Chambliss, snap, speed option, left side, pitches. Katzer gets wrapped up and dragged down at the 40. Gain of maybe a yard. Couple different Warriors making their way over, but the one that made initial contact, Jaden Acker, he did a heck of a job closing the gap, using the sideline to his advantage, and it brings up a 3rd and 8. Wayne State can get off the field, hustling on late for the Warriors. Jalen Garrett, the freshman D lineman out of King. Twins either side. Chambliss out of the gun. 3rd and 8. They need to get to their own 49. Claps the hand. Straight drop. Blitz comes. Pressure. Screen. And is it intercepted? There's a pile for it. It was thrown into a sea of green, and Wayne State says they have it. Waiting on the official signal. And they do! Warrior football on the Ferris State 40-yard line. You go back a few weeks. You go back to week 1 against Tiffin. It was that same middle screen that burned Wayne State for 2 long touchdowns. This time, Carl Ware has the wherewithal and the awareness to stay back. Chambliss kind of threw it blindly, trusting the play, and it went right into the arms of number 4. 2:44 left to go in the first half. 10-0 Ferris State. Bulldogs do get the ball to start the second half, but if Wayne State can find the end zone, we get a lot of momentum going into the half. Out of the gun, Edwards, snap, gives Singleton. He has nowhere to go up the middle.
Singleton, the ball carrier.
He was looking for a hole, and he was going to be looking for a long time. A few different Bulldogs come up and make the stop. Caleb Davis in there, along with Sheldon Cage. Loss of a yard back to the Ferris State 42-yard line. Warriors don't have to snap it before the 2-minute stoppage. Trips right, 1 to the left. Lone man near side's McCatherine, Singleton in the backfield. Edwards claps the hands, nobody moves. They look to the sideline, and I don't believe they will get the play in. And that will take us to the 2-minute stoppage. 10-0. Ferris on top of Wayne State, but Wayne State in plus territory after the interception. We'll step aside for a moment. You're listening to Warrior Football right here on WDTK The Patriot.
Located right in the end zone, Warrior Village offers yard games, exclusive end zone seating.
Welcome back into Tom Adams Field, Warrior fans. Brady Beaton solo here on a Sunday morning as Wayne State resumes action of a game suspended last night. Ferris State leads at 10-0. 2 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd and 11 for Wayne State at the Ferris 42-yard line. Edwards, snap, play action, looks, wants near side, has McCatherine, and it's caught. No, out of bounds. And we'll see if Tyrone Wheatley throws the challenge flag because it was close. A better ball from Edwards, and that's easy 6 for McCatherine. I don't know if he was able to tiptoe in bounds. but a big change of momentum. That would have been inside the 15 near the 10. Wayne State going with tempo. Ferris tried to get some subs on their third down package. Only 2 down linemen for the Bulldogs, and Tony Anise says, no, I've seen enough. I'm gonna have to use a timeout. So 1:54 left to go. It's 3rd and 11. Here's the predicament you put yourself in if you're Wayne State. Yes, you want to be aggressive and go for a shot downfield. You need to find a way to score points. However, if you throw an incompletion, you're going to be punting it back to Ferris State with 2 timeouts left in the back pocket and just under 2 minutes to go. Man, Miles McCatherine was behind the defense. He has been a very nice addition for these Warriors from Chicago, Illinois, from the College of DuPage. McCatherine has been one of those weapons on the outside that we've seen flashes of, and that's been the theme with this Wayne State team. Pockets and flashes of good. The problem is it just hasn't been consistent enough to end up winning ball games. They trail Ferris State 10-0. 3rd and 11, Wayne State from the Ferris 42-yard line. You might not have to throw to the sticks. If you get close enough, you could think about going for it. Twins either side for Edwards. DeMarco Singleton, the back off his left hip. They adjust him to the right. 1 down lineman for Ferris. Looks like they're sending 4. Snap, they'll send 3. Edwards, pocket holds, throws, intercepted at the 29. Ferris going the other way, and he's tackled at the 36-yard line. That was an ill-advised throw. Ferris State picks the ball right back off. That was Jalen Jones, the junior out of Mattawan. And Ferris has it, 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line with a $1:48 to go in the half. Wayne State defense will be asked to get another stop. Excuse me, they move it back to the 37. They had the ball placed on the 40 for a moment. 1st and 10, Ferris at their own 37. Chambliss out of the gun, Twins near side bunched. Twins to the far side, split out a little more traditionally. Five men on the line of scrimmage for Wayne State. Motions to an empty set, snap, Chambliss, left side, caught by Rose at the 47, and he gets knocked out of bounds around midfield. We will give him the 49-yard line for a 12-yard pitch and catch, but more importantly for Ferris State, the clock stops. On the left hash, Ferris State takes their time with the clock frozen. Same formation, Twins left, Twins right. Cats are off his hip. Snap, play action, throws, screen, Rose far side. He gets across midfield, but that's all he's getting. 8 different Warriors came up to help gang tackle. Roshawn McGee was in there. We saw Gus Taylor sighting. Elijah Folks came up to help finish it off, along with Anthony Walk Jr. I'm telling you, there was a lot of green around that tackle. Clock moving down to 1:20 and rolling. 2nd and 8 at the Wayne State 49. Man in motion, Rose takes the jet sweep, looking for the edge. Block springs him free only for a moment, but getting back up and making the play. Braden Vredeveld was able to upend Rose at the 43-yard line. 3rd and 3 as this clock continues to run. Tony Anise going to keep those 2 timeouts in his back pocket. Trips left, 1 man near side. Chambliss out of the gun. 3rd and 2, Ferris. Snap, screen, Rose left side looking for the edge. He falls forward near the 40-yard line, and he got the first down. Needed about 3, got 4, and it's 1st and 10, Ferris at the Wayne State 39-yard line. Clock running, 47 seconds left to go in the first half. Chambliss with Twins either side, back off his right hip. Chambliss calls for the snap, straight drop, looks, Rose again at the 30-yard line. He goes across to the 25. He's upended, and I believe he stayed in bounds. 33 seconds left to go in the half. Ferris State looking to add on points to their 10-0 lead before the break. Twins either side. Clock is running. 30 seconds as Chambliss takes the snap. Rose again. He's dropped in bounds as he catches it at the 20-yard line. Gain of 4, and it's a timeout from Ferris State and Tony Anise. So we'll all take a moment to catch our breath with 24 seconds left. 10-0 Ferris. First half action. This game, again, was delayed last night after some unexpected storms came in the area. It was originally just supposed to be some rain, and then, well, the skies got angry, And everyone here realized pretty early on, looking at the radar, it was going to be a futile effort to try and resume the game. Ferris State was able to hang around in Detroit for another night, come back, play on Sunday. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, last time Wayne State played a Sunday game 99 years ago, it was November 15th, 1925. They were then known as the colleges of the city of Detroit when they took on Toledo. Earlier in that season, they actually opened in Big Rapids on a Sunday. Ferris State won that game 13-12. The lone game notes Jeff Weiss could find, Ferris State had 1 first down, Wayne State had 3, and CCD fumbled 3 times on the goal line. 2nd and 5, Ferris State at the Warrior 20-yard line. 25 seconds to go in the half. Bulldogs have a timeout. Snap, Chambliss looks, middle, pressure comes, steps up, throws, and it's caught at the 5. Rose gets tackled at the 2-yard line. He has loved Brady Rose here today, and he puts him on the doorstep of the goal line. Clock will start once the chains are set. The referee winds the clock. 15 seconds, and Tony Anise uses his last timeout. Too much confusion on the ball. Oh, Wayne State used the timeout? I believe Wayne State used the timeout. Interesting. At the 1-yard line, I understand you probably want to get some bigger guys in position, but if that was a Wayne State timeout, which indeed it was, with a timeout left for Ferris, they can run the ball one time with no risk of being caught with the clock running out. Ball is placed right firmly on that left hash mark at the 1-yard line. Let's see what type of personnel Wayne State sends out there. If they put the big guys out there, well, Chambliss can run. Maybe just roll him out, give him the option to just walk his way into the end zone. Chambliss scored the lone TD for Ferris a night ago. Ferris coming out with a heavier set. Have some big tight ends. Ferris trying to get their ducks in a row. Twins either side. Chambliss out of the gun. Tight end motions right to left from the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Snap, Chambliss up the middle. Excuse me, that was Zach Ahern, and he stopped just short. Ahern, listed as a running back, he was a quarterback at Rockford. He was stopped short of the goal line, and Ferris has to burn their last timeout with 8 seconds left. And now we'll have to see what Ferris State wants to do after this play. They moved it from the 1-yard line to midway between the 1-yard line and the goal line. If you run it, you have to be darn sure you're going to get it. With 8 seconds left, I bet they want to throw a fade or a slant. So we're taking this play under review, and unfortunately for the Ferris State Bulldogs, since we're on a bit of a skeleton crew, we don't have as many camera angles as we would have a night ago. So we're going to take a look at this play one more time. They thought Ahern got over the goal line. From my angle, it was hard to tell. It was a big pile, and I don't know if either camera angle we have today is going to be able to show it. 8 seconds left to go in the first half. Ferris State leads Wayne State 10-0. Bulldogs do get the ball to start the second half as well, so they're going to look to double up when they get the ball to start the third quarter. Officials looking at it on the 10 near side. As again, it's usually we have a very robust setup here with the prep. They do a great job on the TV end of things, but just the fact that you're trying to get a crew together on essentially 12 hours notice sometimes can be a big ask. And Sean Belize and Tony Ortiz, they were busy and unable to be here, so that's why it's just myself, Brady Beaton, riding solo for this one. The officials took as long of a look as they could. And here's the ruling. While he's talking, it's not picked up, and he holds up a 2, indicating it is second down. So, offense out on the field for Ferris State. They're about a foot out. Twins right, twins left. Chambliss back out of the gun. Katzer to his left, and Wayne State uses a timeout. These 8 seconds are never going to end. Everyone's out of timeouts now, so the next time both sides take the field, they have to snap the ball. This is a decision right now that you have to call it in real time. You're half yard out. If you're Ferris State, you're saying, if we can't get a half yard, we don't deserve the touchdown. But if you get stopped short, there's no chance you get up and spike the ball or you get the field goal unit out there. The half just ends. So what I would imagine is going to happen is with 8 seconds left, you want to throw a fade, you want to throw a slant. You don't want to get caught like you saw last night between Ohio State and Oregon, where quarterback scrambling around, slides down as time expires, and they can't get another playoff. Ball on the left hash, about a football length from the end zone. Chambliss, the quarterback, twins right, twins left. Katzer, the back off his left hip. 8 seconds to go in the half. Man in motion, left to right, Rose. Snap, handoff, keeper, throws, Rose, touchdown Ferris. There were 3 different options on that play and enough eye candy to get Wayne State just off balance enough that the Chambliss to Rose connection finds 6. And it's 16-0 Ferris with 4 seconds to go in the half. Rose didn't get in by much, but he definitely got in. That's what makes this Ferris offense so tough. They have so many weapons, and that drive was the drive of Brady Rose. On to hold. Rose waits. Calls for the snap, a bit high, but he places it down nicely, and the kick is up and through. So with 4 seconds left, we will keep it right here. Before the stoppage a night ago, Brady Rose was he hadn't caught a pass. And I believe he had 5 receptions on that drive. As it's 17-0 Ferris, 4 seconds left. I wouldn't expect much. This Ferris State defense has been more than stingy. Haven't given up 20 points in a game yet this year. Their lone loss was more so because of their offensive struggles back in week 0 against Pittsburgh State and Nebraska. Same program that, if you recall, back in 2011, who Wayne State played in the national championship game that Ferris lost in week 0, 19-3. Since then, haven't given up more than 13 points in a game. In fact, they've only given up 2 touchdowns since that loss. Ferris on to kick, Mitchell Middleton. Can't imagine they're kicking this one deep with 4 seconds left. Middleton checks with his kickoff team, runs up. It's a ground ball up the middle for a single. McCatherine picks it up. He'll see if he can find anything. Has a little bit of a hole to the 39-yard line, and it's 4 zeros on the clock as both sides will head to the locker room for halftime. 17-0 Ferris State on top. Again, if you're just joining us wondering why the heck you're here in Wayne State football on a Sunday, because last night with just over 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, lightning rolled into the area, and it became very evident that that lightning was not going to leave. In fact, I think it's still raining a bit from last night. I think the resumption of this game, the skies were darker than it was at kickoff a night ago, and that was a 6 o'clock kickoff. Ferris State leads it 17-0. Had a field goal from Middleton, and then Chambliss ran it in from a yard out. And just a few moments ago, Brady Rose on the reception from Chambliss makes it 17-0 Ferris as we head to the break, the Warrior offense has moved it a bit between the 25s. It's what we talked about with Sean last time we were here at Tom Adams Field against UIndy, was that once they get to about the 25, 30-ish yard line, it's as if there's a wall that they can't quite break through. And with Ferris State getting the ball to start the third quarter, it's going to be a tall task for this Wayne State defense. They're going to need a stop when we come back. Halftime here in Midtown Detroit. It's Ferris State 17, Wayne State nothing. Thank you for joining us for some Sunday morning as we roll near the afternoon for football. We will take a break, come back with some more halftime festivities right here on your home for the Warriors, WDTK The Patriot. Brady Beaton here solo for Sunday Warrior football. Again, last night's game was suspended until 11 a.m. today, where we have resumed. It is 17-0 Ferris State as we get ready to start the second half. Both sides are warming up, but real quick, want to take a moment to thank everyone that came out again on short notice, both at the prep and my man back at the studios, Brian Bolesky, on the ones and twos. It again was about 12 hours notice to come back and fill the spots, and everyone down in the press box, Jeff Weiss's crack team of stats and game day operations. Big thank you out there to everyone who was able to make it back on a Sunday morning on short notice. Ferris State getting the ball to start this second half, and it's going to be on the Wayne State defense to get the ball back. Carl Ware had an interception that set Wayne State up in plus territory near the end of that first half. But Wayne State gave it right back with an interception of their own. And then, well, it was the Brady Rose drive. 7 targets, 7 catches, 57 yards, including the touchdown to finish it off. They were looking 22's way, and well, we got a healthy dose of the junior out of Muskegon Mona Shores. Wayne State meeting on the near sideline in their all green uniforms, those bright gold numerals with the newer green helmet with the WSU over the Warrior shield, big yellow and white stripe down the middle. A heck of a look for Wayne State. It is clean, it is classic. Ferris, we talked about it last night. Me and Sean both liked every aspect. The helmets, the burgundy helmets with the Bulldog logo, the white jerseys with the black numbers and the gray pants. We like all of those individually. They just don't mesh very well. And Ferris State has had some pretty nice uniforms throughout the years. They have pretty good, nice color scheme, nice branding, and it just felt a little mismatched to me. I like all three parts by themselves, but as a whole, they don't quite mix well. On to kick, Milovansky, the run up and the deep kick right to left. It is caught at the 2-yard line. That's Brett working his way to the 15. He gets stood up right at the 20-yard line. No getting out of that one. Making the tackle for Wayne State, that was C.J. Gordon, the redshirt freshman out of Berrien Springs on that southwest side of the state. And coming out to start the second half, Ferris State and Trinidad Chambliss, the junior from Forest Hills Northern. Tight formation with twins either side. Katzer, the back on his left hip. Rose in motion right to left. Clap, snap, look, far side screen. Caught by O'Brien, works to the edge, but won't get much further than the 24-yard line. Coming up and making the stop, Caleb Coleman. Been a heck of a player for Wayne State. Tyrone Wheatley originally recruited him to Morgan State. He's found his way here to Midtown Detroit. 2nd and 5 from the 25. Snap, keeper, Chambliss up the middle, falls forward to the 29-yard line. It will bring up a 3rd and short. Ferris State working with a little bit of tempo here to start the third quarter. They're up 17-0, just 40 seconds in right here on your home for the Warriors, WDTK The Patriot. And if you're watching at home on Flow Sports via the prep, Ferris taking their time here. They bring in the big tight end at Mason Dykstra. He's offset behind the right tackle. Back to the left, twins right. Rose in motion, right to left. 3rd and 1 from the 29. Snap, Katzer up the middle, makes a man miss. He stays on his feet and just crawls his way to a first down. He was on his hands on all fours. His knees were up, and he was able to basically crawl his way to the 31-yard line. A big 2-yard gain, and it's 1st and 10 Ferris on their own 31. Trips right, 1 to the left. Chambliss works out of the gun, and Katzer's to his left. Man in motion, right to left. That's O'Brien. Snap, Katzer, middle, has some room now to the left side to about the 33-yard line. He had to weave his way through a lot of different Wayne State defenders that got past the line of scrimmage, but he was able to turn what looked like a loss of 1 into a gain of 3. We'll call it 2nd and 7 from the 34-yard line. Twins either side. Back to the right of Chambliss. Wayne State, 4 linemen. They play off coverage on the edge. Motion to an empty set. Snap, looking, middle. Flag comes out, and it's a good thing it did because there was a Ferris State receiver beyond the defense, but that may have been because the play was blown dead. As we will get a false start. I believe what the call will be is the back out of the backfield, Katzer, who was the man open deep, when he was motioning, he was working himself forward. You have to be going laterally or backwards at the snap. I believe that's what the infraction was. And it pushes him back to 2nd and 12 from the 29-yard line. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Katzer to the right of Chambliss. Chambliss claps the hands, 2nd and 12. Snap, straight drop, has time, throws near side. Oh, he missed him by a mile. If he was a pitcher in baseball, that would have been behind a right-handed hitter. And it's 3rd and long for Ferris State. They need to get to the Ferris 41. They're on their own 28-yard line, between the 28 and 29. Wayne State struggled to pressure the quarterback. They had a sack last night before the game was postponed. Looking for another one here. Trips near side, 1 to the far. Chambliss claps the hands on 3rd and 12. Snap, straight drop. Pressure comes, rolls near side, has time, throws sidearm, caught at the 40, and I think he's a bit short. They found number 9, Cam Underwood, and he is out of bounds at the 40. It's 4th and a yard. The way the Ferris State defense is playing, why not take a shot here? 12-19 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Ferris State 17, Wayne State nothing. Ferris keeps the offense on the field. If the Warriors can get a stop, they'll have it in plus territory, a chance to finally break through what has been a very strong Ferris State defense. Offense on the field. Snap, Chambliss up the middle. He's hit. He didn't get it. Warriors get the stop. Coming up and laying the hit. Braden Vredeveld on first contact. Carl Ware in there as well. And Wayne State has it 1st and 10 at the Ferris State 40-yard line. Asking your defense to come up big, and they do. Now, the Wayne State offense has to take advantage of it. No field goals here. Get in the end zone. 17-0 Ferris. 11:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. Champion Edwards comes out. DeMarco Singleton the back. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Offset tight end near side on the left as well. He'll motion him to the right. That's number 21, Reba. Snap, Edwards rolls far side, stops, throws, and oh, the official broke up the play. Reba was asking for a flag, but you can't throw a flag on the official. And that's the pendulum of luck swinging back into Ferris State's favor. The official broke up a pass last night that would have been a Ferris State completion. That was a throwback to Reba, and yeah, that's just unfortunate. 2nd and 10, Wayne State from the Ferris 40-yard line. Out of the pistol, Edwards, snap, handoff, Singleton, middle. He jumps his way through a few holes, spins out of a few tackles, and a hard-earned 3-yard gain to the Ferris State 37-yard line, brings up 3rd and 7. That was the delayed handoff action. I think they were hoping that it wasn't quite a draw. He had the ball stuck out for a while. I don't know if Singleton was late to take it or if it was designed that way, but there was not a lot of room to go. 3rd and 7 from the 37-yard line of Ferris. Trips far side. That's Reba, that's Tuggle, and that is Manny Harris split out to the, Joshawn Lewis split out to the far side with McCatherine on the near. Edwards claps the hands, straight drop. Ferris sends forward, pocket, holds, throws, caught at the 25-yard line and deeper into Ferris State territory. Number 9 on the reception. That is Joshawn Lewis, the redshirt senior out of Lorton, Virginia. Wayne State trying to parlay that 4th down stop into points. 10:49 and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. 17-0 Ferris State. Out of the pistol, Edwards. Man in motion right to left. Claps the hand, snap, turns left, gives, no, keeper. Edwards spins off of one tackle inside the 25. He was able to stay on his feet all the way to the 23-yard line. Give him a gain of about 5, and it's second and manageable for Wayne State. Edwards looking to the near side. DeMarco Singleton has been the feature back against the Bulldogs. He stays out there. Reba at tight end. Nick Ostis out there at tight end as well. McCatherine split out near side. You have Lewis split out to the far. He's in motion right to left. Edwards snap, fakes the pitch up the middle. Edwards to the 15. Ooh, he got stuck. He was able to spin off the hit a bit. Near the first down marker. Will they give it to him? They will not. It is third and a shoelace. Inside the Ferris State 20, this has been the best spot for Wayne State's offense all game long, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. Twins right, one to the left. Singleton in, snap, gives to the big man, bounces right side, has room to the 10, to the 5. DeMarco Singleton to the end zone for a Wayne State touchdown. Needed a yard and they get 6. That was a run designed to go up the middle, and DeMarco Singleton, the young man out of Marysville, bounced it to the outside. Warriors are on the board as Griffin Milovansky comes out for the point after try. And the offense playing complementary football with the defense. Defense sets them up. Offense takes advantage of it. Snap, hold, kick is up, and the kick is good. 9:18 to go in the third quarter. Wayne State on the board. They still trail Ferris State 17-7. You're listening to Warrior Football on your home for Wayne State Athletics, WDTK The Patriot. As your Warriors just found the end zone, they still trail Ferris State 17-7, 9:18 to go in the third quarter. I'm telling you, folks at home, Wayne State for the first time in this matchup, whether it be last night or tonight, has some of the momentum. Now, for Ferris State, they have been put in a pretty impossible situation. You have to, it was already a night game on the road, not fun to begin with. And then you have to scramble, get hotels, and find a way to keep your guys ready to go for a delayed game. That's a spot no one's ready for. Milovansky kicks it off deep to the near side. It's brought in at the 1 by Brett. Cuts up to the 10 to the 15, has a little bit of room, but he's pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line, and that Warrior sideline has some energy right now. The defense, hey, they got one stop. They're going to need to get a few more. This is a very high-powered Ferris State team. They have been one of the classes of not just the GLIAC, but Division II. First and 10, Ferris at their own 23-yard line. Chambliss, he's out of the gun. New back with him, that's Zach Ahern. Twins either side. Man in motion right to left, O'Brien. Snap, keeper, Chambliss, middle, 25 to the 30. He's brought down after a solid 7-yard gain around the 32-yard line, so give him 8 actually. 2nd and 2 coming up for the Bulldogs. They're working quickly to the line. Same formation, twins left, twins right. Ahern off of Chambliss's left hip. Chambliss snaps, claps, gets the snap, strike, drop, has time, scrambles, steps up, has room, flag comes out, and I believe this is going to go against Wayne State. Scramble went to the 40-yard line. And I think they're going to get illegal hands to the face against Wayne State. There is a Ferris State player without their helmet, but everyone's walking back. They're going to get a holding on Ferris State, and Bob Anderson was celebrating as if he drew a call. He assumed that it was going to be against Wayne State, and he assumed wrong. Now, I'm assuming Anderson will have to come out for at least a play because the helmet did not come off as the result of a foul. So he comes out and on to replace him. Andrew DeVries, the sophomore from Caledonia, will have to be in for at least a snap. Goes back to 2nd and 12 inside their own 25-yard line. Chambliss gets everyone in position. Twins either side. Ahern the back on his right hip. Light box for Wayne State. Only 6 men in the box. Chambliss wipes the towel, claps the hands. And some movement in Ferris State, forcing another penalty. Listen, there are times in D2 football you're not going to get those SEC, those Big Ten crowds. You don't get 100,000 people watching. And especially on a day that you get delayed onto a Sunday. Be honest, it was not as big of a crowd today as there was last night. But the Wayne State sideline trying to provide their own home field advantage, trying to bring the energy. They have Ferris 2nd and 17 at their own 17-yard line. Twins either side. Ahern the back for Chambliss, motions to the left, empty set, low snap, Chambliss controls it, steps up in the pocket, wants a deep ball, and it's in and out of the hands of 2 different players, one in green, one in white. First, it looked like you had Kwan Houston going over to intercept it. It was just past his fingertips. And then Zach Ahern, the back out of the backfield, I think was expecting a tip ball, and it never happened, and it kind of went over his fingertips. And it all comes out to just an incompletion, and it's 3rd and 17. And the Warrior defense trying to get off the field for a 2nd straight drive. 8:02 to go in the 3rd quarter, 17-7. Ferris State on top of Wayne State. Twins either side. Ahern in the backfield with Chambliss. He motions out to the left. Empty set. Chambliss. Snap. Straight drop. He wants to run. He does. Tucks it to the 25, and he's dropped right there. Braden Bradeveld comes up and makes the stop, and that will force the Ferris State punting unit to come out. Wayne State will get the ball back and try to add on to what they did last drive. Ferris State, the last 4 games since their week 0 loss 19-3 to Pittsburgh State, has put up 56, 43, 84. Yes, you heard me right, 55. And they've not given up more than 13. They lead Wayne State 17-7. Snap, and the punt all go as planned. Beautifully placed on the near side at the 35. It rolls all the way to the Wayne State 13-yard line. Heck of a punt and a way to flip field position. Give the flowers to number 34, Ethan Sawson, the Australia product. It wasn't a pretty punt. It was a line drive, but he put it so far away from any Wayne State return man that it just bounced and bounced for about 20-some yards. And now the Warriors are going to have to do something they haven't done against Ferris, and that's go the length of the field. Champion Edwards, the quarterback. He has been the whole way. Twins either side. DeMarco Singleton in the backfield. 1st and 10, Wayne State from their own 13-yard line. Edwards, snap, keeps near side, speed option, flips, and Harris is just able to bring it in as he falls out of bounds around the line of scrimmage, but a late flag comes out. And Wayne State's getting a free set of 15 yards. Now, without the benefit of replay in the moment, it may be a possibility that John Raba helped the officials see the call. Because Raba's a tough guy, and he doesn't fall down like that too often, but I believe this is going to be 15 against Ferris. It will be a personal foul against Ferris State. So basically the distance the ball bounced on the punt has been flipped, and from their own 13 to the 28-yard line, Wayne State moves up the field. 1st and 10 Warriors, 6:59 to go, third quarter. Ferris State 17, Wayne State 7. Warriors trying to build on the momentum from last drive. Twins right, one to the left. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Snap directly to Singleton. He works up the middle to the 25, upended at the 26. And another flag comes out late. Is this against Wayne State? DeMarco Singleton says it's against Ferris. There was a Ferris player saying it was against Wayne State. And it's going against Ferris State. Oh my goodness, the Bulldogs, frustrated, have just given Wayne State 33 yards in penalties, and that's after a holding and a false start on the previous offensive drive. So a great punt by Ferris State that pinned him inside the 15. Wayne State now has that midfield. Disregard what I said about having to drive the length of the field, essentially starting the drive at the 45 now. 1st and 10, Wayne State at their own 45-yard line. Edwards out of the gun. Singleton off his right hip. Snap, turns right, play action. Wants a deep ball. Looking for Lewis, and another play comes out. Pass interference against Ferris State. They're not rolling out the red carpet. They're paving the way, making sure Wayne State just walks right down the field. I have never seen anything like this from a team as talented as the Ferris State Bulldogs, and that is as easy of a pass interference as you will call. Joshawn Lewis was bodied to the turf, and a drive that started on their own 13-yard line will have 5 yards of total offense on a DeMarco Singleton run, and it has gone from Wayne State's 13 to Ferris State's 39-yard line. The Warrior faithful that showed up for day 2 of this game are into it. Edwards out of the pistol, Singleton the back, bunch trips to the right side. Edwards claps the hands, turns right, hands to Singleton. Looks for the edge, bounces out, trying to find the edge once again. That room closes up in a hurry, and we finish a play with no flags. It's no gain as it's 2nd and 10. Wayne State at the Ferris 39-yard line. Go back to the pregame show when Sean Belizean was here with me. I said, listen, you're going to have to get some luck against Ferris State. And Wayne State has had a fair bit of luck. Now they need to take advantage of it. They did last drive. 17-7 Ferris, 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Wayne State driving. Edwards on the hard count, looks to the near sideline. Twins to the left, one man out to the right. Ostis, the tight end, off the ball, left side. 3 on the play clock. They need to get the snap off. They do. Speed option near side. Edwards pitches it to Singleton across the 40. He gets upended at about the 36. Gain of 3 brings up 3rd and 7. You are in the vicinity of Griffin Milovansky range. The wind doesn't look to be too bad. Although the only flags we have to make reference of are the ones on the uprights, and they are, while they're not still, they are not moving a ton. 3rd and 7 from the 36-yard line of Ferris. Trips right, one man to the left. Edwards with the hard count. Play gets signaled in. Singleton the back with Edwards. Ferris State rushes 4. Snap, play action, jump ball near side, and it's caught at the 15-yard line. Miles McCaffrey had no business going up and making the play, and he did number 3. How about the hands of the senior from Chicago? Edwards had pressure, he said, forget it. Miles is down there somewhere and made the play. 1st and 10, Wayne State at the Ferris 13. Out of the gun, Edwards, snap, handoff, middle, inside the 10-yard line, rumbling for a gain of about 5. That's number 26. That's number 20, is that 25 rather? Xavier Tyus, I was going to say. Waiting to see Tyus out there. Freshman out of Portage Northern. 2nd and 6, Wayne State at the Ferris 9. Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ferris State leads at 17-7. Edwards, snap, turns right, gives Tyus, bounces inside the left tackle. A sea of red helmets come up and knock it back short of the first down marker. They'll place him at the 7-yard line. See exactly where they spot it. Looked like the lineman was on the 7 at least. Call it 3rd and 3. 3rd and a long 3. Edwards out of the gun, Tyus the back still. McCatherine out to the left, Lewis out to the right. Claps the hands, snap, play action, jump ball near side. McCatherine goes up and he makes the catch. Throw it to number 3 and he has a gravity about him. Touchdown Warriors. Flag on the field, but it's pass interference against Ferris State. That was as simple of a play as you can run. That is backyard football, and he said, Miles, run that side. I'm just gonna throw a teardrop to you. Don't make the play, and he did. And with 3:09 to go in the third quarter, Wayne State, with this PAT, can bring it within a field goal. On to kick the PAT, Griffin Milovansky. Waiting on the snap. Snap, hold, kick is up, and the kick is through the Wayne State sideline juice. We are nearing the end of the third quarter, and there are flags that come out late. We'll sort that out when we come back. Ferris 17, Wayne State 14. Warriors battling on a Sunday here in your home for Wayne State Athletics, WDTK The Patriot.
Born in Detroit is proud to be an official sponsor of Wayne State Athletics. Born in Detroit is a collection of apparel and accessories that embody the great.
So the officials' mic down on the field not working, so we'll see exactly what this sorts out with. It was some extracurriculars, but penalties have been just tearing Ferris State apart as the Warriors have scored the last 14 points. Ferris State 17, Wayne State 14 on a day that started as a sleepy Sunday game where it was, okay, Ferris is up 10, they got the ball back, went down and scored. The Warriors have showed more fight in this game and have played better in this game than they have all year long. They still trail Ferris by 3. Back to return for the Bulldogs is Brett and Rose. Milovansky has it teed up. The run up in the boot. End over end kick brought in, no, over the head of Brett just inside the end zone. And let's see where they spot this ball. I believe it may have been offsetting penalties because the kick was still at the 35. So we'll just put those penalties on the PAT in the washer as the Ferris State offense looks to get it going. Wayne State defense has gotten a couple of stops in a row. Ferris will take it 1st and 10, left hash on their own 25-yard line. Their lead has shrunk to 3, 17-14. Ferris, 3:09 to go in the third. Twins either side. Rose in motion right to left. Snap, keeper Chambliss up the middle. Look out, has room left side to the 35. He's on his feet, 50, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Bulldog touchdown. No, out at the 1. And this is why Ferris is just so darn good. You feel like you have them on the ropes, and they come with a right hook for 73 yards to the 2-yard line. So Chambliss finally breaks free. He will check out. Ahern will check in, which it's like Wildcat, but it's not, because Ahern a quarterback by trade, at least in high school. So he's the quarterback. He's listed as a running back, but he can throw. Don't get it twisted. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Ahern puts a man in motion left to right. Snap, keeper. Ahern walks in. Touchdown, Ferris. And boy, was that a quick turnaround. Bulldogs woke up, and it's back to a 2-score game with 2:27 to go in the 3rd quarter. So Ferris State does what we know they can do, hit a big explosive play. It was a 73-yard run by Chambliss, and Ahern came in and said, all right, you did all the hard work. I'll just go the next 6 feet for the score. On to kick is Middleton. Rose the holder. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it's good, but they'll have to do it again. I saw a backside move on the right side of that Ferris State line. So they'll back it up 5 yards, which and doesn't make much of a difference on a PAT. 23-14 pending this PAT from Ferris to try to make it a 10-point game for the Bulldogs. And now another test for Wayne State. Hey, they got hit back by Ferris. You knew the Bulldogs weren't going to roll over and let Wayne State shock not just Ferris, not just the GLIAC, but all of D2. They come back with a big, quick drive. Can the offense, for a 3rd straight time, find the end zone? Middleton on the kick, a 25-yard extra point. Rose calls for the snap. The hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. A flag comes out. I believe this will be against Wayne State. Someone a little eager to try and block that kick. We also have a Warrior slow to get up. That's Acker. He's up under his own power, but he is in a little bit of discomfort. I think he's asking the officials why there wasn't some laundry on the field for what happened to him. I can't speak to that, but he will slowly jog to the sideline. Seems to be all right. We'll keep it right here. 2:27 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Ferris State 24, Wayne State 14. Ferris State on the ropes, and you're not going to keep them on the ropes for too long. They've made some nice plays, but you were waiting for that one big run, and Trinidad Chambliss found it on a QB keeper on the left side. And the only reason he didn't take it to the house is he barely stepped on that far sideline. Back to return for Wayne State. That is number 39 back there, Dantes Hicks. He had missed a little bit of time, and Joshawn Lewis. They stand at the 5-yard line. Middleton has it teed up just inside the left hash. Wayne State offense going to get this ball back, hoping they can answer the Ferris State score. Sidewinder kick far side, and that is well into the end zone. And a flag back at the 35-yard line. Ferris was a little anxious, so they'll back it up 5 yards and kick again. I believe you can take that after the kick, so Wayne State could take it at the 30 if they so please. And that might be what they do. They will take it at the 30-yard line. So they'll take the touchback as a result, add the 5 yards on top of that. 2:27 to go in a 3rd quarter. But the Wayne State offense has shown some life here. Now, we'll be honest, and the last drive was aided by 3 straight Ferris State penalties. That a drive that started on their own 13 ended inside, or restarted inside the Ferris 40 with only 5 yards of offense before them, but then they punched it in. Miles McCatherine with a heck of a play for the latest score. 1st and 10, Wayne State at their own 30. Edwards out of the gun, snap, play action, keeper. He's looking for room. He somehow gets his way to the 32-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. Coming up and knocking him out was the DB Michael Edwards. sophomore from Hollywood, Florida, and there are quite a few Floridians on this Ferris State team. They have a strong contingent from Michigan, but there are guys from all over the country in Bulldog uniforms. 2nd and 8 from their own 32. Edwards out of the gun. Singleton offset to his right. Snap, play action. Edwards, pocket hold, throws over the middle, and it's dropped. Would have been a tough catch. I don't think it'll go in the stat book as a drop, but a diving effort from Joshawn Lewis, and it's in and out of his hands at the Ferris 44-yard line. And it will be 3rd and 8, Wayne State on their own 32. Warriors trying to hurry as Ferris getting their 3rd down defense on the field. Trips right. Edwards claps the hands, and Tony Anise didn't like it. He'll take a timeout. So Ferris burns a timeout to get the right personnel out there. 1:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ferris 24, Wayne State 14 on your home for the Warriors, WDTK the Patriot. No, you're fine. We're good. How long is this break? Third and 8 for Wayne State at their own 32. Edwards takes the snap, and the blitz gets home for Ferris State. From the far side, number 3, Iosefa Sapia came off the edge, and Edwards never had a chance. Great blitz called, and Wayne State will be forced to punt it away. Back to punt for Wayne State, Jeremy Terrace. You've seen a mix of him and Birch. It's Terrace out now. Last punt by Wayne State was nearly blocked. Rose back inside his own 35 to return for Ferris. Rugby-style kick, line drive. Rose lets it bounce to the 40. It hits him. He's able to pick it up at his own 32. Looks for room out to the 35, and he will be pushed out of bounds at the 37-yard line, and that's where Ferris State will take over. 1st and 10, Ferris. They lead at 24-14 with 1:02 left to go in the 3rd quarter. It was a 2-play, 75-yard drive that extended this game back to a 10-point difference where we stand right now. The man out at quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss. Got him to the 2, Zach Ahern got him the rest of the way. 1st and 10 from their own 38. Chambliss, man in motion left to right. Snap gives up the middle, making a few men miss over to the 40, to the 43, now over the 46-yard line. My goodness, Cannon Kotzer would not go down. The Spokane, Washington product, and he bounced off of about 3 would-be tacklers. He's 5'9", 190 pounds, and he is a tough back to bring down. 9-yard gain to the 47-yard line. 2nd and 1, Ferris. Twins left, twins right. Katzer to the left of Chambliss. Rose in motion right to left, takes it on a jet sweep. Rose looking for the edge. He finds the edge, the 50, the 45, the 40, into Wayne State territory as he falls forward to about the 36-yard line. And look out, Ferris State's offense is starting to work downhill. Ferris State does not need to run a play here to end the 3rd quarter. And the Bulldogs do not look like they're in any hurry to. Final few seconds will run off the clock here in the 3rd, and Ferris will take a 24-14 lead into the 4th. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the Wayne State 36 when we come back on your home for the Warriors, WDTK the Patriot.
After 3 quarters of play, it's Ferris State 24, Wayne State Look forward to special guest appearances throughout the season and an opportunity to get your questions answered. It's Weekly with Wheatley, live from Woodbridge Pub, Wednesday, October 24th at 5:30 p.m.
Fourth quarter about to get underway here at Tom Adams Field. Sunday morning football as we've worked into the afternoon. 24-14, Ferris State leads Wayne State. It was 10-0 when this game was suspended last night. Ferris State scored the first touchdown to end the resumed second quarter. Then Wayne State scored a couple of touchdowns. DeMarco Singleton, Miles McCatherine to make it 17-14. Ferris State answered in short order. Ryan Ahern from 2 yards out. And the Bulldogs just got to stop, and they have it. 1st and 10 at the Wayne State 36-yard line. Chambliss out of the gun. Katzer to his right. Man in motion left to right. Snap, play action. Steps up in the pocket all day to throw. He tucks, he runs, he has room. 25-20, and he scrambles out of bounds inside the Wayne State red zone. Coverage was solid downfield, but no one within an arm's length of Trinidad Chambliss, and he saw the open runway, and he's like, I'm going to take that all the way to the Wayne State 19. If the Warriors have any intentions on winning this game, they have to hold Ferris to 3 here. Keep it a 2-possession game. Chambliss out of the gun, 1st and 10 from the 19, snap, and he skips a throw to the far side. He was looking for Cam Underwood, and it was woefully short. There's a flag against Wayne State. We're going to see what this is. It was in the middle of the D line. We are going to get illegal hands to the face. I don't think anyone's happier out there than Bob Anderson, who was begging for it a drive ago. He was very happy when he heard the call, and that will be an automatic first down for Ferris State. I believe it will be half the distance to the goal, so from the 19 to just inside the 10. 1st and goal, Ferris. Chambliss will stay in. The hybrid running back quarterback, Zach Ahern, has come in at times in goal-to-go situations. Trips right, one man to the left. Katzer, the back to the left of Chambliss. 1st and goal from the 9. Snap, rolling right. Chambliss dumps it off, and it's in and out of the hands of Katzer. I like the play design. He rolled out to the right. Katzer took a step to the left, was on a flat route. But a nice job tracking him down on the edge. I believe that was number 59, Jalen Garrett, running with Chambliss. He tried to flip it over his hands, and it was just too far out of the reach. 2nd and goal from the 9. Twins left, twins right. Katzer, left hip of Chambliss. Leans in, puts a man in motion right to left, claps the hand, snap. Katzer up the middle, gets to the 7. He gets tackled forward to the 6. 3rd and goal, and a pivotal down for Wayne State. 24-14, Ferris State leads Wayne State. They can hold to a field goal. It will remain a 2-possession game. Twins right, twins left. Katzer on the right hip. Man in motion, left to right. Hard count, nobody moves. But yes, somebody did, says the Wayne State D-line. They're pointing at the right side of that Ferris State offensive line. Linesmen agree. False start on Ferris. 3rd and goal from the 11. So now that changes things up a bit. From the 6, you have a lot more plays on that sheet than you do from the 11. Trips right. Back to the left. Wayne State showed blitz before the penalty. They show it again. 6 men up on the line of scrimmage. Chambliss out of the gun, motions to an empty set. Snap, pocket, holds all day. Looks, more time, throws, and it's not almost intercepted. Braden Vredeveld dove in front of it. It hit his hands, it hit his chest, and then it fell to the turf. So it will preserve a field goal attempt for Ferris with 13:35 to go in the fourth quarter. 24-14. Ferris on top of Wayne State. And they will send out the kicker, Mitchell Middleton, the junior from Middleville, Michigan. Just inside the left hash, this will be a 28-yard try. Snap high, placed down beautifully, and the kick makes it through for 3. 27-14 Ferris on top of Wayne State. We'll keep it right here at Tom Adams Field. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday morning with me as we get closer to the 1 o'clock hour. Again, as far as me and Jeff Weiss and the crack team here at the press box could gather, first time Wayne State has played on a Sunday since 1925. It was November 15th. Back then, Wayne State was known as the College of the Colleges of the City of Detroit. They took on Toledo. We found games on Mondays, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, ran the whole gamut. But 99 years since we've been in this spot. I think football's looked a little different since then. Wayne State did play at Ferris State on a Sunday to open up that season. So I guess the more things change, the more they do stay the same. A long, storied rivalry between these two institutions. Middleton has the ball on the tee. The run-up and the deep end-over-end kick. Lewis brings it in at his own 3-yard line. In between the hash marks, works to the near side. Lewis cuts up to the 30, bounces outside once again, makes another man miss to the 34-yard line. A solid return to give you decent starting field position. Wayne State has it 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. 13:24 left to go in this ball game. Wayne State had it as close as 3. A stop on 4th down. Some Ferris penalties aided the Warriors' effort. But DeMarco Singleton and Miles McCatherine have found the end zones. They need points on this drive, and they don't need 3. Out of the gun. Twins either side, but closer to the line of scrimmage. Snap to Edwards, looks near side, fires, and it's way out of bounds. The closest receiver was Joshawn Lewis, but it was about 10 yards outside. Bring up 2nd and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Wayne State working with a little bit of pace doesn't mean they'll snap it right away. Edwards claps the hands. No one moves. They look to the sideline. Right now they're showing trips left, 1 man to the right. That lone man is number 9, Joshawn Lewis. Singleton in the backfield with Edwards. Snap, straight drop. Pocket holds, throws, and it's caught for a Wayne State first down. Working to midfield, Miles McCatherine. He will get credit for a 16-yard pitch and catch. Make it 17. They put it at the 49-yard line of Ferris State. 1st and 10 Warriors. On the right hash, Wayne State works with a little bit of tempo. They don't usually snap it on that first go. Singleton, the back behind Edwards. Twins left, 1 man to the right. Lewis in motion. Edwards, snap, Singleton, nope, fake, near side. Edwards strings it out, and he pitches it forward out of bounds for an incompletion. That was a nice job by a slew of different Bulldog defenders. You had Lento Smith coming up and making that play extend. Victor Nelson on the D-line was involved there. I saw Jason Williams, the senior out of West Bloomfield, was in the vicinity. Edwards didn't have really an opportunity to be right on that play. 2nd and 10 from the Ferris 49-yard line. Trips left, 1 to the right. Edwards snaps, straight drops, looks, throws, wants a deep ball, and it's 10 yards overthrown for Miles McCatherine. He's made a couple beautiful catches today. That one didn't really have a shot, and it's 3rd and 10 from the Ferris State 49-yard line. 12 minutes, 34 seconds to go in this one. Ferris leads it by a score of 27-14. The Wayne State defense has played fairly solid. They forced a turnover. They forced a turnover on downs. And the Wayne State offense here in the second half has shown more life than they did in the first. They've scored on 2 of their last 3 drives. Pivotal third down. Edwards takes the snap, looks far side, pump fakes, McCatherin overthrown. I don't want to call it a rub route, but it was a crossing route intended to scheme McCatherin open, and Edwards, too much steam on it. The pressure was getting to him a bit. Give credit to that Ferris State D line. They will send out Jeremy Terrace to punt this one away, hopefully to pin Ferris State inside their own 10. Swiss Army knife back to return in Brady Rose. They had one drive where they featured him heavily on offense, and I don't think they've done much with him since. Ferris sending on a guy late. They have 12 out there, and I think they did, and Ferris is forced to burn another timeout. Let's count them real quick. Yeah, they had 12 out there. And that's a smart timeout from Tony Anise with 12:31 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll keep it right here as Ferris has a 13-point lead, about to get the ball back. If they take that penalty, now 4th and 5 from the plus 44. That's a decision for Tyrone Wheatley and offensive coordinator Russell DeMasi that you have to seriously think about. Do we send the offense back out there? If nothing else, you send them back out there and maybe see if you get a free 5 yards. Ferris State burned their second timeout, and Wayne State almost assuredly going to punt this one away. Terrace stands back at his own 35-yard line. Ferris has been close to blocking the last 2. It has been a bit nerve-wracking. Terrace gets the snap. Light rush from Ferris. High kick. Rose calls for the fair catch. It bounces at the 5 and just into the end zone. Wayne State couldn't get there in time, but there's a flag at the 40-yard line. Officials are going to have to ice their shoulders after this one for how many they've had to throw today. Holding against Ferris, so that will be assessed at the end of the play. So I believe that will make it 1st and 10 Ferris at their own 10-yard line. See where they spot the ball. Touchback on the punt goes to the 20, where on a kickoff is the 25. So whether it's half the distance or just 10 yards, that puts it on the Ferris State 10 either way. And that's where Trinidad Chambliss and company are set up, ready to go. Ahern, the running back this time. Receivers split out either side, ball on the right hash. 1st and 10, Ferris at their own 10-yard line. 12:23 to go in the game. 13-point Ferris State lead. Chambliss, receiver in motion, left to right. Low snaps, bubble screen, fired at the 5, working up to the 15, making men miss is Lee, and Jeremiah Lee is finally pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So the bubble screen from Lee goes for 10 and a first down, and Chambliss was maybe 15 feet from him, and he fired a fastball into the belly of Lee. I think it took him a second, even stunned him. Luckily, the blocking outside for Ferris was strong enough that they were able to work out and get the 10 yards out of it. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, Twins either side. Chambliss claps the hands, now puts a man in motion. Snap, keeper, Chambliss middle. Looking for room, finds it to the 25, and he's brought down from behind at the 27-yard line. It was Colby Horn out of the defensive end position, the Wisconsin native, running back and tracing him down from behind, but not after an 8-yard gain from Chambliss. Twins either way. Ahern the back to the right of Chambliss. 2nd and 2 from their own 28. Snap, Ahern middle. He doesn't get much, but he gets enough for a first down. Gain of 3. 1st and 10, Ferris. And up 13 as we cross 11 minutes to go in this one. They'll kick their feet up and just take their sweet time. Chambliss out of the gun. Snap, pocket holds. Rolls near side. Looks downfield. Pressure comes and he throws it 50 yards into the sideline. He actually knocks some water bottles off the top of the trainer's cart. And I don't know if he was intending on doing that. Usually it's a hockey game where you talk about someone knocking off the water bottle. That time Chambliss, if he was aiming for that, good for him. Because there was about 4 or 5 bottles on top of the storage container for the trainers, and like he hit a strike. He's down in a bowling alley. 2nd and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Chambliss out of the gun, snap, speed option, pitch right side. Katzer finds some room, slips a tackle, 1st down and more to the 45-yard line. A very quick speed option. Chambliss maybe had the ball in his hand for a second before he pitched it to the right side. And it's another big gain for Ferris as this clock continues to run. 10:20 to go in the 4th quarter. 27-14 Ferris State. Trips to the left, 1 to the right side. Katzer the back next to Chambliss. Leans in, puts a receiver in motion left to right. Snap, keeper handoff up the middle. Loss of a yard, making that play for Wayne State. Jordan Lewis, the 6'1", 276-pound grad student out of Lake Orion by way of Lawrence Tech. And it's 2nd and 11 Ferris at their own 44-yard line. Chambliss out of the gun, Katzer on his right hip. Twins right, 1 man to the left, tight end off the ball to the left. Man in motion right to left. Snap, Chambliss gives, jet sweep, right side looking for room to the 50-yard line, number 10, Tariq Brett. He gets it to the midfield stripe, and it brings up a pivotal 3rd down for Wayne State. 3rd and 5, and if they can get off the field, well, Wayne State hopefully could get the ball back. They'd have to score twice. A field goal on this drive keeps it a 2-score game, but it's a 2-score game by definition only at 16 points. Twins left, Twins right, hard count, and we're getting a Wayne State timeout. Don't know if they didn't like the personnel, but they'll use a timeout. 8:48 to go in the 4th quarter. 27-14, Ferris on top on your home for the Warriors, WDTK The Patriot.
Town with comfort and ease. National Trails bus ride with us.
Yeah. 27-14, Ferris State leads Wayne State here on the resumed game from last night. Wayne State had it within 3 for about 40 seconds of game time. Ferris State has it 3rd and 5 at midfield. They're trying to put the nail in the coffin. Wayne State defense trying to get off the field. They show blitz. Chambliss out of the gun, hard count, no one flinches. Goes on 2, no one flinches. They look to the far sideline. Ahern the running back. Twins either side. 8 men on the line of scrimmage for Wayne State. Snap, bubble screen off the hands of Rose. It was too hard, too fast, and that will bring up 4th down, but will it bring the punt unit out for Ferris State? And even if it does, the Bulldogs faked a punt last night. So the punt unit comes out, but that doesn't mean they're punting it away. And I think Wayne State's just going to keep their defense on the field. They will make one change. Vredeveld comes off. Joshawn Lewis comes in, essentially to catch any punt so it doesn't bounce around and he can at least call for a fair catch. Ferris State shifts on the punt. Snap and a rugby-style kick. They do punt it away. A line drive bounces at the 28. Lewis will let it bounce inside the 20, just a hair inside the 15. And a flag comes out late, and I believe this will be against Wayne State. There was some pushing and shoving on the near side. I only saw the tail end of it. Without the penalty, it would be 1st and 10 Wayne State at the 13-yard line. So if it's against the Warriors, it's inside the 10. If it's against the Bulldogs, it goes out to the 28-yard line. 8:33 to go in the fourth. 13-point Ferris State lead. Wayne State just got the ball back. And we're trying to see exactly what this call will be. I have not seen an indication for anyone in stripes yet. Here's the official word. Personal foul, face mask against Ferris State. So from inside the 13 to the 28-yard line, that's the second time this half that a Ferris penalty has essentially negated what has been a very nice punt. Wayne State doesn't have to rush, but they need to score sooner rather than later. Not the time for a 20-play Service Academy drive. Twins either side. Edwards out of the gun. Back to his left. Snap, draw, middle. Edwards looks for room, slips past the 30 to the 34-yard line. All he needed was a crack of space, and he worked his way through for a 6-yard gain. Make it 2nd and 4 from the 34-yard line. Edwards has everyone to the line. Trips left, one man to the right. The man by himself, Joshawn Lewis. Singleton in the backfield. 2nd and 4 from the 34. Snap, straight drop over the middle. Caught by Harris at the 39. Oh, he worked a bit backwards. May have put him back inside the sticks. It depends on the spot. They're right near the 38, and they will move the chains. Under 8 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Wayne State trails it by 13. Edwards looking to the sideline. Relays the signals. Twins left, twins right, but they're bunched near the line. Singleton, the lone man in the backfield. 1st and 10 from the Wayne State 38-yard line. Edwards calls out a potential blitzer. Snap, fakes the handoff to nobody. That's a broken play, and he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, loss of 1. Champion Edwards took the snap, held the ball out, and when he realized no one was coming to take the handoff or at least fake the handoff, he just got what he could, and what he could get was a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11. Wayne State at their own 37. Twins either side. Ferris only showing 4 linemen. Now a linebacker walks up near side. 2nd and 11. Snap, rushes 4, throws near side, and Lewis wanted a pump and go, and that ball had to be released well before Champion Edwards wanted to, thanks to the rush of Ferris State. That D-line has started to cause havoc in the Wayne State backfield. They haven't gotten Edwards for a sack but one time, and that was on a zero blitz where someone came untouched on the edge and there was no one to throw the ball to. But they have had a few hurries that have thrown off the timing of Champion Edwards. 3rd and 11 from their own 37-yard line. Twins left, one man to the right. Ferris shows blitz. They rush 4. Snap, straight drop, throws over the middle, and Reba, did he bring it in near the line to gain? Yes, he did. Ferris State is begging Tony Anise to throw the challenge flag. Now, I believe he challenged the play at the end of the first half. I don't know if he has one, and now they're walking it back. Now they are saying incomplete. Punt team will come on, folks. I'll be honest, from my spot at home, I could not tell. John Reba was swarmed by 2 or 3 Ferris State defenders. He came up with the ball. I don't have a blues clue if that bounced or not. Avery Birch on to punt it away. The sophomore from River Rouge. asking to reset the game clock to 6:42. Ferris State leads it 27-14. As if Birch punts this away, the defense will need to get a stop sooner rather than later. Snap, rush comes from Ferris. The punt's away, a low line drive. Bounces at the 37, takes a heck of a Warrior bounce all the way inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. So a punt wasn't the prettiest, but Ferris State will take over as their offense hustles onto the field. 1st and 10 at the Ferris 16-yard line. But I think this drive, less about points, less about the yards for Ferris State. They want to milk that clock. Twins left, Twins right. Ahern the back next to Trinidad Chambliss. Receiver in motion right to left. Keeper up the middle. Chambliss bounces outside of the 20. Still loose. Look out. 30, 35, and he's brought down at the 38-yard line. Chambliss slippery as ever. Gain of about 22, and it's 1st and 10 Ferris. Ferris takes a long look over to the sideline. Plenty of time on the play clock. They're set up to run the play. Chambliss claps the hands, takes the snap, straight drop, looks, throws, caught at the 39-yard line, working to the 40, 45, and out of bounds for Ferris State. James Gilbert, the senior out of Mona Shores. Just a crossing route, dumped it short, and out of bounds with more than, well, just under 6 minutes to play. That means the clock will restart once everything's set. I think Ferris State, I think they want points here. They want to go for the final blow. Snap, handoff, Ahern, right side, over midfield, into Warrior territory at about the 44-yard line. And we have a helmet that came off once again. Bob Anderson once again, and he is not happy, or no, he was looking back. I believe he lost his skull cap. So he'll have to check out again. He drew one hands to the face penalty. He hasn't drawn one since. 1st and 10 Ferris at the Wayne State 44-yard line. Chambliss out of the gun, claps the hands off to Ahern, working on the right side, not a lot of room. He scampers out of bounds at the 41, 3-yard gain. No, they'll mark him back at the 42, 2-yard gain. 5:24 to go in the 4th quarter. Wayne State was able to get it within 3, but the offense hasn't done much since. 27-14, Ferris on top of Wayne State. Trips left, one to the right. Chambliss out of the gun, claps the hands. Wayne State showing blitz on the near side. Ferris will look to check with the coaches. Quincy Salter was showing blitz on the near side. He'll back off about 4 yards off the ball. 2nd and 8 from the 42, snap. Chambliss looks right, now left, sidearms it, caught at the 40, out to the 35, and working his way out of bounds for a Ferris State 1st down is Tariq Brett. That was the 2nd or 3rd read for Chambliss. Took the snap, looked right side, had a little hitch as if he wanted to throw, it was covered up, looked left, scrambled, and just a little flick of the wrist was able to complete it for a 1st down, and this clock quickly melting away for the Warriors. Twins either side. Chambliss out of the gun, Ahern on his right hip. Chambliss saying, hold up. Have to check that far side, 10 on the play clock. Chambliss claps the hands, gets the snap, fakes the handoff, screen, right side, Brett dropped it. Hit him right in the chest. Chambliss, he doesn't have a changeup. He has a fastball that on a lot of screens, he fires it over there. Put it in a perfect spot, right down the middle. It's 2nd and 10, Ferris from the Wayne State 32-yard line. 4:16 left to go in this 27-14 affair. Ferris State on top. Chambliss out of the gun, Ahern to his right again, Twins either side. And in motion left to right, Housey. Hands off to Housey. He has room, 25-20. Cuts up at the 15, and he's wrangled out of bounds at around the 12. And Ferris State knocking on the door, trying to get that final blow in the final 5 minutes. They haven't slowed down to milk as much clock as you may expect in this spot. They are going for the score. Chambliss out of the gun, Twins left, Twins right, Ahern on the left hip, and a timeout, Wayne State. I think they're going to want to change personnel, and with 3:59 left to go in the fourth, we will step aside. 27-14 Ferris State on top of Wayne State, and you're home for the Warriors, WDTK the Patriot. Yep. Back here from Tom Adams Field, Brady Beaton with you on Sunday Wayne State football. Game that started last night was resumed this morning at 11 a.m. and Ferris State has the 27-14 edge. They have it 1st and 10 at the Warrior 12-yard line. Ferris, his Twins either side, Ahern in the back. They're waiting for the official to give the go-ahead. And they are trying to, I believe, adjust something on the scoreboard. 3:59 shows on the clock, but did they call a timeout before then? Official still standing over the ball. I think they want 4:01 on the clock. 3:59 currently showing. They get it changed to 4:01. And we give the thumbs up. So a patiently waiting Trinidad Chambliss. Out of the gun. 1st and 10 from the Wayne State 12-yard line. Chambliss claps the hands, waits, puts a man in motion right to left. That's Brett. Snap, fake. Chambliss right side. Ball comes out. Ball's out, and Ferris State got back on top of it. Lawrence Hatter, the Livonia product, was able to get back on top of it. I believe that was 76 that fell on top of it. And maybe the slightest glimmer for Wayne State goes by the wayside. It's a loss of 3, 2nd and 13. 3:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Ferris State by 2 scores. And a timeout. I believe Wayne State just used their last timeout. Indeed it was, so Wayne State burns their 3rd and final timeout. Next Saturday, 6 days from now, Wayne State will be heading to the west side of the state. It'll be myself and Kevin Breckmacher will be on the call for a 2 o'clock kick against the Davenport Panthers. Davenport has, they've started to figure it out over there. Last night they beat Tech 24-20. So the team Wayne State lost to a week ago came down to the west side of the state and fell in a close one to Davenport. Be back here at Tom Adams Field in 2 weeks' time for homecoming when Saginaw Valley comes to town. Right now, the matter at hand, 27-14 Ferris State on top of Wayne State. 2nd and 13 from their own 15, or excuse me, from the Wayne State 15-yard line. Chambliss out of the gun. Katzer the back to his left. Snap, keeper, Chambliss up the middle, the 10, the 5, jukes outside. There's a flag back at the 15-yard line. Let's see what this laundry is. It's holding against Ferris. So they'll back him up to the 25-yard line. It will be 2nd and 23 from the 25. Not sure the last time I've seen that. The ball's on the 25. But the clock is the biggest enemy right now of Wayne State, down 2 scores with no timeouts left. Even if Ferris got stopped for 2 no gains, that takes about 1:25 off. Wayne State would get it back with about 2 minutes left. Empty set for Ferris. Bunch trips left, 2 men to the right stack. Puts a man in motion left to right, quads left. Throws screen, looking for room, nowhere to go. They wanted to get it to Amari O'Brien. He couldn't slip out. Nice tackle from Caleb Coleman of Wayne State, and it brings up 3rd and long. But again, that clock going to continue to melt away. 3rd and 24 from the 26-yard line. That was actually a TFL on the play. So if they wait about another 13 seconds to snap it, assuming it's not an incompletion, they can take it to the 2-minute stoppage. Twins left, Twins right, and Chambliss takes his sweet time. Brett in motion left to right. Snap, Chambliss works near side to the 25, and he'll go out of bounds of his own volition. That will stop the clock. So with 2:36 left, the clock will stay frozen. And Chambliss didn't really have a lane to go up and try and hit a big run. Surprised he didn't just go down. They gave him a 1-yard gain, but the clock will restart outside of 2 minutes. Ferris can't take this to the 2-minute warning. They leave the offense out there for 4th and 24. I have to imagine this is only to see if they can get Wayne State to jump. 4th and 24 from the 25-yard line. Takes the snap. Ferris is going for it. They throw it down the middle, and it's knocked away, incomplete. Would have been about a 42-yard field goal had they wanted to try it, but the 4th and a mile comes up empty, and with 2:03 left to go, Wayne State gets the ball back, needing 2 scores. Champion Edwards comes out, and he's going to have to take a few shots downfield. I'm sure the word in that Ferris State huddle in the defense, keep everything in front of you and tackle them in bounds. 1st and 10 from their own 25. Edwards, snap, screen, near side. Lewis gets 3 or 4 before he's knocked down, and that will take us to the 2-minute stoppage. We'll keep it right here, 27-14. Ferris State on your home for the Warriors, WDTK The Patriot. 1015 FM, 1400 AM on WDTK Detroit. Again, thank you to everyone who helped make today possible. It is when Jeff Weiss hasn't had to do something before at Wayne State, that's when you know that we're in uncharted waters. And having to find a crew to work today, whether it was in the press box or up here on the production side, Brian Bileski back in the WDTK studios, everyone from the prep that was able to make it out, we very much appreciate all the efforts here today. Wayne State looking for a monstrous effort here down the stretch. They would need 2 scores in as many minutes. 1:56 left to go in the 4th quarter, 27-14, Ferris State on top. Wayne State had it at 17-14, but Ferris has scored the last 10. Edwards out of the gun, Twins either side. 2nd and 6 from the 29-yard line. Edwards scrambles, he'll tuck it in and run to the 35. He slides down after gaining the 1st. 1st and 10, Wayne State at the 35-yard line. Wayne State needs to hustle to the line. Need to get the play in. Clock will restart in a moment. Official winds it. Trips left, 1 to the near side. Edwards out of the gun. Claps his hands, takes the snap. 4-man rush from Ferris. Throws, and it's caught at the 48. McCatherine for the 1st down. He's upended at the 49-yard line. 1st and 10, Wayne State. Clock stops again for the moment. 94 seconds left in this game. Trips near side, 1 to the far. Edwards out of the gun. puts Singleton in motion to the right side. Swing pass to DeMarco. Catches it at the 45 to the midfield stripe, and he doesn't get much further than that. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7, Wayne State, but the clock keeps moving. Singleton was tackled inbounds from the 49-yard line. The Ferris State 49-yard line, 2nd and 7. Edwards out of the gun with trips to the left, takes the snap, pocket holds, throws over the middle. Lewis catches it at the 44, brought down short of the first down marker. 3rd and 2, under a minute to go, clock rolling. 54 seconds left to go in this one. Wayne State needs a touchdown. They need it yesterday. Edwards claps the hands, draw up the middle, bounces to the near side, gets the first down to the 38-yard line. He keeps moving out of bounds. I don't know how Champion Edwards stood up, but he fought for an extra couple of yards and more importantly, fought his way out of bounds. 39 seconds left. And you're going to have to start taking some shots to the end zone. And at this point, if Wayne State's going to come back down 13 with 39 seconds left, it's going to take some lucky bounces. Starts with a touchdown sooner rather than later. From the 35, snap, Edwards, jump ball, near side, and it's intercepted. Ball was underthrown, and Ferris State gets the interception. Eric Jackson read it from the safety spot, and a flag out on the field. I believe this came late, but let's cross our T's and dot our I's before we put the finishing touches here. It is a personal foul against Ferris. So I'm sure in film session tomorrow, the penalties are going to be something that Ferris addresses in a big, big way. Ferris State has given Wayne State over 100 yards in penalties, and I believe at least 45, maybe 60 of those yards have been personal foul penalties. This one, inconsequential. As Trinidad Chambliss will come out, he will take a knee. And Wayne State, with one of their better efforts of the season, will still come up short by double digits. Chambliss takes the knee, and that'll be the last snap of the game. Wayne State was able to get it within 3, but then Ferris State, well, they bounced back and did Ferris State things. Scored the final 10 points of the game as the Bulldogs come into Tom Adams Field and over the span of 2 days get a 27-14 victory. Both teams line up to shake hands. We'll step aside, come back, recap everything for you on your home for the Warriors, WDTK The Patriot. Back here at Tom Adams Field post-game show as Ferris State downs Wayne State 27-14. Game was broken up between 2 days. Back on Saturday night, it was 10-0 at the end of that one. A Middleton 24-yard field goal to get us started. Mitchell Middleton was a busy man for Ferris State. And then a Trinidad Chambliss 1-yard run made it 10-0. Then the Lightning came. And we said, okay, pack it up. We're going to come back tomorrow. And when we did, Ferris State got a stop, drove down the field, and Brady Rose brought in a 1-yard pass to complete a 9-play, 63-yard drive. 7 of those 9 plays, Brady Rose was the target of, and he gets into the end zone, and it's 17-0 Ferris. But Wayne State, not to be denied, came back and showed a little bit of life. It started in the third quarter after a 4th down stop by the Warriors. DeMarco Singleton found a 14-yard scamper for the score to make it 17-7. Wayne State would get another stop, and aided by a slew of Ferris State penalties, Miles McCatherine, a couple of highlight reel catches, one to set him up inside the red zone and one in the corner of the end zone, where all Champion Edwards did was say, hey, Miles, go up and get it, and he did to make it 17-14. But not even 30-some seconds later, Ferris State would find the end zone, a 2-play, 75-yard drive. Zach Ahern punched it in from 2 yards out because Trinidad Chambliss, well, he scampered 73 yards to put the Bulldogs on the doorstep, and Wayne State would never get closer than they were at that point. Middleton would push through another kick in the 4th quarter. That was the only scoring of the 4th quarter. And your final score tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, is 27-14. Ferris State knocks off Wayne State. We talked about it last night in the pregame when Sean Belizean was here. Pockets of good, pockets of things you can build on, but they're just too far. There's too few and far between for a team, especially when you're playing one of the top teams, not just in your conference, but in all of D2 in the Ferris State Bulldogs, as they take this one 27-14 over your Wayne State Warriors. We'll take one break and we'll wrap everything up on your home for Warrior football, WDTK The Patriot. Back here from Tom Adams Field, Brady Beaton on the post-game show as Ferris State downs Wayne State 27-14. 14. A valiant effort, especially in that third quarter from Wayne State. Just too few and far between of that valiant effort. Ferris State still huddled on the field. Tony Anise has been talking to the Bulldogs for a while. They were happy they won, but I think they know that they played far, far from their best game. And a program that has won 2 national championships in recent memory, they understand what it takes, and they left the door open for Wayne State, and for a couple times it looked like they were going to run through it. Again, Wayne State had it within 3. Ferris did what they needed to do, but again, far from the best we've seen from the Bulldogs in recent memory. That'll do it for me from Wayne State. Again, reminder, next Saturday, a 2 p.m. kickoff with a 1:45 pregame right here on WDTK, the Patriot. It'll be myself, Brady Beaton. Kevin Breckmacher will be joining me out at Davenport University for that matchup as the Warriors head on the road next week. Again, want to thank everyone that helped make this possible, everyone at the prep that came back on Sunday, Brian Bileski back in the studios. I want to thank my broadcast partner, Sean Belizian, even though he wasn't here today. Thank you to Wayne State President, Dr. Kimberly Andrews Espy, and Wayne State Athletic Director, Erica Wallace. And thank you for making us a part of your Sunday morning. Your final score from Tom Adams Field, Ferris State 27, Wayne State 14. We'll talk to you next Saturday.